Everyone, happy Saturday, also known as Day 6 of Sideshow Con. Welcome to the All Request fan booth tour. I am Paul, and of course, joined by Mr. Guy Calendar.
Hey everybody, this is our favorite thing. I love that we're getting the fans involved and saying, what do you want to see? And so hopefully they're doing it there. And where should they be doing it?
Please go over to YouTube if you are watching. I mean, you can really watch wherever you want, but if you would like to request to see something today, please go to side.show/YouTube. Just go to our YouTube channel. That's where Missy, our incredible moderator today, is going to be taking all of your requests and comments there. So, you know what? She's been so incredible all week. Missy, where do you want to start?
Gentlemen, if you could go over to those lovely and adorable dragons, I would be really, really excited.
Sure can.
We have to.
All right, Guy, roll out. All right, so we are starting, of course, with these beautiful How to Train Your Dragon pieces. I believe from the third film specifically.
From the third film specifically. This was one of the most popular, most sought after when Sideshow first did it.
Of course, we've got Toothless here.
And now to do him in the incarnation of the third film. It's funny, I keep talking about the bases of these figures and this and the other, but it really creates that environment. It creates, it's the beginning point of the story that the statue is going to tell. And on both of these, you have that crystal iridescence, and it's spectacular on them.
And of course, we have Light Fury here, and of course, there are three beautiful little babies here that we've got newly shown, and I believe these are not up just yet. These are, but these are not up just yet. These are RSVP only, side.show/what's new, or side.show/con, and you can find what's new. These are incredible. I was fortunate enough to be able to talk to Ian McDonald yesterday, who worked on the design for these pieces, and he also worked on the design for the previous piece, the what some people call like the How to Train Your Dragon Grail that so many people were asking for. And it was he had a really interesting bit about this, because I said, well, how did you change from the first Toothless statue to this one? And he said, I was so nervous with the first one because he wanted to make it very stoic and make it look very sort of menacing. And he's like, in this one, he's like, I went full goofball. He's like, I want people to know that yes, he is a dragon, but he's also incredibly goofy.
He's goofy, he's flirtatious, he's at that awkward kind of teen years when he's flirting with her. And on hers, and it is catching the light, you do have that.
It's like shimmering.
That
shimmering
quality that's on there. Hers a much lighter style, but then of course on him you have that raised and sculpted scaling there around the feet, around the nose, and he was an instantaneous pre-order. I was unfortunately I do not have the first one, so it was a do not make that mistake again.
Oh, of course, and I do love that. When Amy and Vanessa had pointed it out, as well as Ian during the interview, just like the difference in features for them. Obviously, Toothless is a little bit more rough around the edges. Light Fury here has the much softer lines, a lot sleeker. Specifically, when you look at their feet, if we can show those, Sam. So he's a little scaly boy here.
Yes.
You see him right there, and then her. It's a lot smoother.
It's smoother.
And a lot, more like aerodynamic, I would say.
Yeah,
his much more aerodynamic.
Flail out where hers taper downward, and having that kind of feminine look. I think it's spectacular to have them both. I was excited just to have an opportunity to get him, now to get a pair, but no, I'm not done. I'm going to be clicking again on the pre-order and injuring my pre-order finger with getting these trio.
And of course, we have the children here and the matching sort of base that we've got with that alien flora that we see here. And again, just sort of, these pieces work so well together just by themselves, but when you kind of put them all together as a family, it works even better.
Yeah.
And I love that you can see all of the detail here of them. One of them is literally called Pouncer for a reason, and they're just, playing on top of each other. It is just so much fun. Specifically in all of like their faces, you can see bits of both of them in there.
Yes, I love the one, the right eye a little more open in this one here, knowing she's going to probably toss these two in just a moment.
Quickly.
So I like when a statue actually tells a story, and usually mid-story or early on in a story that allows you. As you look at it, to fall in deeper and kind of write that story yourself. And these three are definitely allowing us to do that.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. Again, these are our How to Train Your Dragon pieces, specifically from the third iteration. And again, thank you again, Ian McDonald, for being on the show yesterday. Missy, hello.
Hello.
So tell us, day 6, we had a great booth yesterday. What do people want to see? I'm sure they took some notes.
Day 6, if you could head up to Galactus and Scarlet Witch, those are 2 big asks right now.
Oh, okay. We'll go in order here. So up first, we have got the incredible Galactus,
the big
maquette here. Wow, he is beautiful. Now, the reason I think that I love this particular piece so much is because, one, it utilizes that paint function that I really, really like in this bit here, and like that sort of
where paint becomes the light.
Exactly, and also like of having Galactus, you can see sort of like buildings here, and like this looks like a skyscraper.
Yep, he's
and you can see
smashing worlds.
how much bigger he is.
Yes,
in this.
It gives it a sense of scale of how large he is, a sense of obviously his destructive power there, and his confidence. I love the chin up pose that they've done here. He just has that very confident. Nothing will stop me.
Yeah, he's the Conqueror Supreme, the Eater of Worlds for a reason, and he always comes hungry.
Yes.
Because I love in any version that you get, again, Sideshow has done, various versions of this, and this is, to me, a favorite because it's got like an iconic Galactus stance here, in that confidence that you had just said.
Yeah. Also, take a look at all of the purples in this, and this is catching the light from these incredible pillars. I love these. I know I ordered one, but I'll probably be ordering another for my premium formats and the maquettes. But is how that light catches all of the iridescence that is used in these paints. So depending on how your room is lit, you get, again, another level of lifelike quality to it.
And just this like incredible detail on we could really just focus on here. And there are so many like, sculpted nooks and crannies that we've gotten here that go into the neck piece,
all of
that flood into the shoulders here with so many various colors. Like that's not one shade of blue.
Correct.
There is 3 or 4 shades of blue in here that with this light that you guys are seeing with Sam or the incredible lights we've got here from Pedestal Source are helping bring all these various lights out.
You talked about the base having that warmth and heat melted, and we've done that again, Sideshow, right here in his hands and chest, and it has that illuminated look.
Oh yeah.
And that's always incredible when you're able to fool the eye with the paint schemes like that.
And just all of the various intricacies, that we've got in just the head sculpt.
Just the
head sculpt alone is wildly impressive because you've got sort of I guess technically this is a cowl, helmet. I mean, you can still see, his mouth and his nose there and it looks human-like, but it is by no means human-like. Also in different versions of Galactus, he appears to be human-like to whatever race he is going to conquer. It usually calms them down. So different versions, that face looks a little bit different. And we're turning it around here. You can see all the detail in the back piece as well. But again, this helmet is so mechanical. There are so many pieces on it, even in here, back here.
I think I want to wear a helmet like this. This would be a good safety helmet.
Yeah, this is wild. I mean, I guess, it would make riding bikes a lot easier.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly. Safety
I don't need
first.
to eat worlds. I just need to get to work.
Yeah, I just need to get to work.
Yeah. Yeah, it's insane, the Galactus maquette. It is now available for pre-order. You can go to Sideshow.com. You can find it there. Seriously, it's a fan favorite for a reason. I absolutely love this piece. But we're moving over to not necessarily someone who eats worlds, but bends worlds to her whim. We, of course, here have the Scarlet Witch premium format statue. Again, another piece that I haven't really gotten to look at too closely. We always say, but me and Guy have been so busy that we don't really get to hang out down here as much as we'd like to. So we also are watching those incredible booth tours that Amy and Vanessa, whoever our guest is at that moment. So again, an insane piece. And again, I'm a huge fan of mixed media. So this cape,
yes,
man.
Yeah. Anytime, and this does this wonderful line where you, as the purchaser, as the owner of it, get to add your own take, your own element. By having a wired cape like this, it allows you to create whatever kind of story. Again, being part of the storytelling is what makes these so fun.
Right.
Totally love what's going on.
Yeah, and of course we have her, using her dark magic here, if you will, for to conquer Ultron. Ultron never really stood a chance, but definitely not in this version. You don't know if she's about to blame Agatha here, or if it's she's about to say no more mutants. But either way, you don't want to get in her way here.
What I like about up here is we see the way in which they've done with the paint and her magic, that it's not a solid, major, huge transition, that it gradiates through, and you almost see that kind of wisp, smoke-like quality, particularly right in this area here. That's a great thing to do. Look at the strands of the way the hair is done on here. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. So much motion going on here.
Oh, and I just noticed for the first time that this back part of the base is Ultron's hand.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't notice that until right this second that is Ultron's hand.
Again, discovering. You and I are discovering, and when it's in your home on display, you're going to be discovering. People that come and visit to look at it are going to be discovering storytelling. That's what you want to have with these, and Sideshow does an amazing job of storytelling in their premium formats and their maquettes.
Yeah, and it's such a great sculpt, in the entirety of the sculpt, because it is that classic version of Wanda. That again, if your first if the first time you've seen this costume was in WandaVision, or maybe you've only seen her in the MCU, it's still very recognizable. You still know that it's Wanda Maximoff and it is the Scarlet Witch. And I love that, they included all of these very dramatic, sharp lines like you would really envision her to have in the comics. Again, a very classic version of Wanda that I know people have been wanting for a while. And it looks great.
Yeah. The portrait on there has that wonderful, soft, smooth, feminine skin to it, letting you know that she's not masked, but the rest of her is.
Yeah.
But I like that. It's a beautiful, absolutely beautiful piece, and I know that thanks to WandaVision and some others, many of us are being introduced to her right about now. So.
Yeah, and again, just the expert team that worked on the paint for this as well. I love all of the various dark reds in here. You would say red and maybe pink are some of the focal colors here, but those colors are so drastically different in different parts of the statue.
Yes.
And we've got it here in the base in sort of a very swirly, dynamic, again, chaos magic pose, and then the red in the cape is very dramatic as well, and then this is very still because it's on her costume, and then this is expertly crafted back up into here, and it kind of bookends the piece for you a little bit.
Exactly.
It's very nice.
The leather texture that's done on the costume is spectacular.
Incredible job again. The Scarlet Witch premium format piece. I believe it should be up for pre-order. If it's not, it will be soon. Head over to side.show/what's new. All right,
What's
Missy,
new? What's next?
How you doing? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
All right. So talk to us.
Yeah.
What do the people want to see?
Since you're there, a request just came in 2 seconds ago for the Doctor Strange right next to her. So
yes,
we'll
cape
continue
next to awesome
with our
cape.
magic tour.
So continuing with our great, magic tour, as Guy had said here, we've got the Doctor Strange maquette. It is an absolutely killer piece, incredibly sculpted. That is actually sculpted. And here, this cape that you're seeing here is mixed media. It is lined, very similar to what you're seeing with Wanda. And an insane amount of action and drama in this book.
Exactly. We talked about the swirls that are done with Wanda and the use of course, her magic. This is another character who uses magic, mystery, all of that. And we're getting that swirl, the portals that we've known him to open, a little bit more dark and impending type base where we're having that rock toward it, the swirling to it is, again, anytime you can mix media like this, anytime you can involve the owner to create story with it, every time I'll take capes that you can pose all day long. I love the magic in this, coming off the left hand.
Yeah, and I love, one of my absolute favorite details before we even get to that incredible sculpt is the continuation of detail that I think is something that is really understated in statues, where, if we just looked at Wanda, if her hair is blowing left in one way, then everything else has to match.
Correct.
I love that in this base here, we're seeing it sort of, maybe he's coming out of the dark dimension. That carries over into this as well in that same motion. So the foresight for the sculptors and the design team to be able to carry that over, and you can hear it.
You can feel the wind.
You can hear the wind flapping, and that's all just carrying over there as well. And then whatever noise or whatever Hoary Host of Hogarth type of spell Steven's got going on up here, and then just the sort of classic and signature hand poses that he's got in. Again, I love Benedict Cumberbatch's version of it because they really sort of steer into one of the main reasons that he's so successful with some of these spells that require very specific hand movements is because his hands are broken.
Yeah.
They are broken, they are shattered, so naturally they are not natural.
Yeah.
Just like Stephen Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme himself would be. And, a classic Stephen Strange pose with his hands constantly in that particular form. And again, this is actually all sculpted, people. If you've never seen this before, it does look like the incredible cut and sew team. Like when we talked to Esther Scandunas, Tim Hansen, that whole team over there. This is a cut and sew, but this is sculpted. It's insane. And then again, that awesome sort of classic Doctor Strange look that we have here.
That grit of the teeth. He's again mid conjure.
Yeah, this is, again, the Doctor Strange maquette that we have on Sideshow.com. An absolutely killer piece. I think this one is in stock right now. I think this is one that you could have, buy real quick.
Very soon.
By the end of this, no, not by the end of this.
Not by the end of the show.
Because Guy actually hand delivers all of our packages.
Yes, on bicycle.
On bicycle. But yeah, it's an incredible piece. Missy, talk to us. Where are we going next?
So, if you could head up to the X-Men Minico figures.
Oh, perfect.
And then walk your way over to today's exclusive, the Wolverine 6th scale, you'd have some happy people.
All right, we can do that. Guy, I'll let you go first because we'll probably split the difference
I
here.
love these. I'm going to go this way around.
So we're going to be taking a look at the Iron Studios Minico figures from their X-Men line. Again, we have some absolutely wonderful pieces here. And again, like you and Terry had said on Unsealed and Revealed, they are, they're shelf friendly. Because they are the perfect right size, but there's so much detail in even just the bases.
Yes, to be able to assemble a team of 8 in this type space is spectacular. I like that their bases are all individual, but they do tell a story if you choose to have them together. The movement, they're cute, they're unique. I like it that Beast is sitting there contemplating a really good book, and
there's actual
wording.
There's actual
on the
wording
book.
in there. We can't. There's definitely going to be no way to see it unless you pick it up yourself, which I think you all should. But there is a type of. It looks like there's text in there. I don't know if we're going to get it with that light, but there is. Some small scribbles in there, an insane detail by Iron Studios for that piece. I mean, it's wonderful. Even like the kind of bubbling that's in there for the coffee.
For the coffee and the wisp of steam and warmth coming off that. It's just a lot of fun. I like the flame use on the Phoenix here, of course, high atop the Sentinel head.
Yeah, I think, for me, Jean has the most. She's got the most you can really pick from because Jean Grey proper, just by herself, has very, very specific ways that you can depict her. Again, this is a very iconic version. Sideshow has done it in statue form as well. But then when you throw into, her lore, the idea that she is the Phoenix, she is the one constantly rising from the ashes of burnt worlds. It is insane. And, having her standing on top of a Sentinel head is perfect. It is very reminiscent of her Days of Future Past, which I was first introduced to her in. And again, the continuation of details here. I mean, you've got the hair.
Yeah.
The hair going on.
Again, the movement and that upward flow, giving that rise effect that you talked about. Wolverine has his little fangs and that intense.
He's grumpy.
Yeah, that intense grit that he always had there.
Again, classic versions, specifically when you're looking at, because when I think X-Men, this is what I think of. I think of these two suits.
Exactly.
This is exactly what I think of.
Those two suits, Gambit here, kind of reminiscent of the Jim Lee era.
And the 6 scale that we've got
and
on
the 6
display
scale
here
is also
as well
in
by
that
Sideshow.
area there. And so I like that one a lot.
And I kind of, and again, every single one of these bases, I would love, one day, I'm sure, we'll be able to.
Crane.
Origami Crane. It's just the various personalities that are not only in whatever. Let's start with Scott here. Like Scott is here standing like like the leader. He is in this iteration, or even in his mind. Even in reality, Storm's kind of the leader of the X-Men. But in his mind, Scott Summers is the leader of the X-Men, and he is doing the leader pose, and he is standing on top of what looks like a busted out piece of a Sentinel, and this is sort of like they've just taken down one Sentinel, but there's tons more to go, and that same and shared landscape that they all come from is apparent in all of these. I mean, we even got Rogue down here, classic Rogue, classic hair, classic jacket, classic suit. She's on top of the Sentinel hand there.
Yep.
Like Storm as well.
Each one tells their own story, but then together they tell a larger story.
100%.
And that's spectacular.
Of
okay,
course,
I guess we're moving over to what do we call it? My neck of the woods?
Yes.
And that would be the 6 scales.
We're going to 6 scale country.
The 6 scale country.
I think you said Wolverine first, right, Missy?
Correct.
All right.
Right, so here we have the astonishing Wolverine 6 scale. Again, is a con exclusive right now, but I believe it's up for everyone now.
Yes, Astonishing X-Men was the first version of the X-Men that I read. And so this is a suit that that speaks to me as far as those. One of the things that's really neat about this particular figure is sometimes we'll have swap out portraits or swap out accessories. This one actually has swap out arms.
Yeah.
And right here on display, you'll see that we have one in the bent and one in the straight. But there's also another set of arms that are going to be the articulated, that we're going to allow you to have
more
those
traditional 6 scale arm.
Correct.
Used to,
more of a traditional 6 scale arm. If you had something like that in a bend on a guy who's known for having these massive arms, it really wouldn't give that realistic look. And so what Sideshow has done with this one here, and the sculptors and designers, is give you the option of doing a pose like that and making it as realistic as it can be. The claws you can remove and have them in an extended or unextended
that's
way.
Right. Similar to the 6 scale Wolverine that we
correct.
have, non-astonishing version.
So you have those as well. They are a metal claw, so they're absolutely spectacular. A suit that we all know and love.
A cut and sew. Like this suit here is not sculpted. It is part of the incredible cut and sew team that we have as well.
The cut and sew that do these are great. And then seeing the figure like this is spectacular. I can't wait to see the way in which they box it, because the box art that the graphic art team does on these is spectacular. If you've seen any of the unsealed and reveals that we've done with these, when they incorporate some of those original panels into it that really make it even part of your display there.
Right, and we had the astonishing Cyclops piece that is now long sold out.
Yes.
I believe because you had gotten to look at the classic Cyclops and the astonishing Cyclops, and the box art was different. It did have the astonishing X-Men art on it as well. So suffice to say, hopefully the Wolverine does as well. Fun part is we also don't know. We are also because these
are new to us to be able to see them, which is great. And then this guy right down here.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to have that trench coat. I'm a big fan of trench coats. I've always thought they were great. Long coats are spectacular. This all done as a soft good, obviously going to be quite pliable. And able to be posed to give it a lot of action. He has a very unique look. His hood allows the hair to come out as well as his ears.
I can respect that.
Yeah,
if I were to have a type of cowl, I would also allow.
Nothing should ever touch your hair.
That is correct.
And this is definitely the type of cowl I can see you in. We have that translucent on the hand throwing out the cards, and those are the individual aces that you see in there. Of course, he's going to have a number of swap out hands. He's going to have his bow staff here as well. You do have that unique metal boot that he had. This wasn't a leather boot or anything. He had he's a very unique character.
I do like in certain iterations of Gambit, people call him like Creole industrial.
Yes.
Because he does have he likes this real metal type of look that he's got, and he again for everyone this is I'm not going to touch it too much, but that is not sculpted. This is all part of the incredible cut and sew team with that jacket. And again, like most of them, it will be able most likely to be removed, and you can have them with or without the jacket.
So much going on.
Yeah.
This is I'm gonna make a make a gumbo or a jambalaya and spend the day posing it. Well, I always like to do that. That's when you get one of these figures. There's so much to do that I make it an event.
And make enough for everyone.
Yes, I will.
Especially
I'll make enough for everyone.
For Missy. Missy, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm very good.
What do people want to see?
We have very polite and patient people in the chat right now.
Okay.
If you could turn around, Britt B has given us a please for Carnage and Venom, and then after that, Lauren Lopez has given a very lovely, pretty please to see Black Widow.
You got it.
So I think that whole table actually with all of those marble statues is
That's true. They did say please.
A double pretty please has to happen.
We will stay in the world outside your window. We're staying in Marvel, of course. We have we'll do Venom first. We'll do Carnage first, guy.
Why don't we do Venom first? He's right over by you, and we'll talk a little bit about that.
Yes, so up first here, we've got the incredible, Venom PF that we had shown. And again, it was really nice of Martin Canal to come on and talk a little bit about the process in this as well. I love it every single time. Look at this face sculpt, and look how absolutely perfectly grotesque that like symbiote traditional Venom tongue that you absolutely kind of need with Venom is there.
It evokes that scare and horror, the way the teeth are done, the wet Venom tongue on there. The eyes as well, these aren't just a stark white, that they have a bit of bloodshot to them. And over the entire piece, and the look of it is not just a dark blue, is not just a black, that there are many different paint applications here that give it that unique look that Venom had. I know you and I have always liked the idea that the symbol wraps around.
Yes, I do love that classic symbiote white spider that you see wraps around Venom, because it does sort of encompass what the Venom symbiote is, in that it encompasses entirely whoever is, well, let's just say, lucky enough to get to hang out with a symbiote. And I do remember that Martin Canal, who's talking about this, said that Richard Luong helped work on this as well. He's got a website literally called Teeth and Tentacles.
Yes.
Who better to help design this piece
that
than
than
someone,
knows.
and with teeth and tentacles, and look at the teeth. And well, we'll call them teeth and tendrils here.
Yeah.
Just all of the movement and how dynamic this piece is. And I love one of the details pointed out by Martin was like all of the swirling and all of the various strange patterns that you'll see in this is because you never know what the symbiote is doing. It's always moving.
It's doing its own thing. When you were talking about that, if we spin around, we see that this is mid-battle.
Yeah.
There is something in his left hand.
Yes, there sure is. It looks like the mask of a one Peter B. Parker. So shredded, absolutely shredded. I hope Peter's fine somewhere, but I mean, it's expertly sculpted right onto that left hand of Venom there. And again, this is a prototype pending licensor approval, just as a friendly reminder. But I mean, look how insane, like even the tendrils and the claws go down here. It's a pretty big piece. I mean, I've got a pretty big hand.
This is a large piece. And then that base with the bubbling ooze from the underground areas of Oscorp.
Oh yeah, and you see we've got what looks to be like a glider.
Yes.
From a one maybe green goblin.
So we're sticking with the green there. That what looks to be that lighting effect coming up onto the concrete, coming up onto the symbiote as well, and the broken glider wing is again all paint. That wonderful lighting effect done all with paint.
And knowing that, Richard Luong and Martin Canal and everyone that worked on this piece are huge fans of this, I love the inclusion of one of my favorite elements of Venom, in that, like, Venom is not a solid body, hero or villain or anti-hero. It literally is always moving. And so in the feet, in the base here, you can almost envision, because you can see that wherever Venom's foot is, there's like little pieces of the Venom symbiote coming off. And it looks like on the back right foot and the left foot there, you can see that symbiote staying in one place and then catching up to the next foot and moving.
It's always in motion. It's always in motion. Now, you said he was the anti-hero.
Yeah.
I don't think this guy is considered an anti-hero.
Moving on to our, well, I wouldn't call them friends, but this, of course, is the incredible Carnage premium format piece that was shown exclusively during Sideshow Con. This is an insane piece sculpted by Daniel Bell. I mean, what better companion piece to Eddie Brock and Venom here than the terrifying Cletus Cassidy in Carnage.
When we were talking about the bases and this and the other, you had shown me something about this one that I really, really liked, and it's right down here, Cell 361.
Yes.
And I'd like it if you tell the fans watching the story of that and why that exists there.
Yeah, so in most iterations, you'll see that Cletus Cassidy, who is has been taken over by a different version of the spider symbiote. He is a serial killer who has been put in prison. Most times his cell is 361. The reason being is because he first appeared in Amazing Spider-Man number 361 as Carnage proper. Again, Cletus Cassidy, I believe, first appeared in 359, in Amazing Spider-Man 359, I'm sorry, but as Venom in 361. So I'm sure in any iteration or anywhere you can see Carnage, the number 361 is most likely there. It's a pretty important number to that whole team, but I also kind of like, I just noticed this for the first time. The head sculpt here, he's got like almost like an opal white, a very different white. I like the difference in eyes, if you can even call them that, in Venom and Carnage.
Well, and when you talk about those subtle differences of things like that, when we look over here at Venom, we often think that he has that dark blue or black quality, but then you look over here and it is more of that much darker, almost glossier black over what looks like a musculature, almost, you know, to see that type. And again, all of the sculpting and design done in something like that, and like Venom, having all of that movement, all of that swirl and unknown.
Yeah, and I do love that this is very reminiscent of what Cletus Cassidy and what that version of the symbiote is, you know, versus Venom, in that Venom normally, Eddie Brock says that the symbiote takes over him entirely. And in this version, you see Carnage. You see the symbiote is not necessarily all around the red, and that's because Cletus Cassidy says, I didn't need the symbiote to be a killer, I was already doing that, so we're kind of partners. Yeah. So that's why you can see it in almost every nook and cranny.
You're right. It's much more of a partnership than a takeover.
Yeah, so it's almost there in very specific areas. Maybe it needs it. And it's just an incredible detail by that entire team.
This blade.
The blade is insane.
This blade is insane.
I mean, I love this piece. Again, the Carnage premium format piece. Again, side.show/what's new. All right, Missy, we're heading over to the Black Widow piece. I believe Lauren Lopez had said thank you. Or no, she said, Pretty please. Well, hopefully she'll say thank you twice. So again, the newly announced Black Widow statue that we were mentioning here, insane.
Look at the gloss work on that. That is an incredible shimmer. This is one, when I put it together, I will always have my buffer cloth to get my fingerprints off it, because it's just going to be that beautiful.
And of course, we've got, you know, kind of starting up here, we've got the classic you know, redhead version of Natasha that we all know and love. And again, it's such an accessible piece, because it doesn't matter if you've been reading Black Widow comics, you know, since the early or the mid 70s, or you just watched the Black Widow movie and that's your first, you know, version of her. Like, it's very accessible. You know that it's Black Widow. You've got the classic Red Room Widow symbol. Some say it's the bow, some say it's the, you know, the decoration under the Black Widow. Depends on which version you're reading.
Yes.
But just this suit is absolutely killer, and her stingers that she's got here.
Yes.
Look how fun that is.
Stingers. You've got the crumbling base of Hydra. Yet another Hydra fortress probably destroyed. Yet there will be another rising.
They've got to have like a.
We know
either
that they are.
World's best
they're
or
always
the
in construction.
The world's worst real estate agents.
Exactly. I like that we've got that dirt. On there. A bit of that rubble and dust from the crumbling has now adhered onto the footwear as she is mid-battle there. Again, so much motion.
And again, such an incredible piece, because you can tell that it's in the same line as the Captain America that we've got here, because you can see like the bullet ricochets.
The bullet
that
ricochets
are coming off the shield, but specifically here, and it just adds so much more drama to this particular piece. I mean, you can. She is shooting that way, you know they're shooting in this way, and it just brings so much action and kinetic energy like to your shelf.
Yeah. When we're talking about those bullet holes, and we're talking about here on the shield, and you see that great ricochet, getting that in paint and having it look realistic is an incredible thing that they're able to do. You see he's got his left arm there, probably just about ready to punch a Hydra agent. square in the jaw. We do have that Hydra base a bit. The base down here has a bit of a Hydra symbol.
Right.
Probably off a tank or some other type of artillery craft that they have there. Love this guy. I mean, who doesn't love a Captain America? The paintwork in here in the scale. This isn't just light catching it. This is all the way in which they're doing the paint and the multiple applications in order to get those scales to really pop like that.
And again, another Martin Canal sculpt, and him doing
he knows what
Carnage
he's doing
as well. He does that forward energy and that motion
that forward,
so well.
Yeah, that forward push into action that brings them to life and really begins to tell a story. Just like we saw with Black Widow, he again has that dirt on the boot. Anytime that you're bringing that, it's a subtle detail, but it says so much. It's those finishing touches.
You don't know you need it until it's like if you get a statue and that's not there, and you're like, well, my Sideshow statue has that.
Yeah,
and then it's like, oh, okay.
Or the dirt on the gloves on both.
Yeah, this is like a battle worn suit.
Yeah, this is
man with a plan.
Yeah, there's some dirt and grime on here. We are not seeing areas that are a bright white, fresh out of the laundry.
That would just be untrue to the character. He's a guy that's always in the trenches, always moving. Even the shield. I love that this version of the shield that we have here is so battle damaged, just so worn, and so lived with. We should say, maybe not lived in, lived with. Just all of the various, little scratches and nicks that he's got in these.
Scratches, the nicks, and the
again more of that dirt. So Lauren, thanks for kind of getting us over here. This is a great piece. Now, Missy, where are we going? There's a lot of booth left.
There is a lot of booth left, and at the beginning of the stream, when you guys were on the other side, there was a lot of requests for the man with the boomstick. Ash is being highly requested. So
Ash Williams.
Head right there. And then there are some questions about what's going on behind him.
Oh yeah. We've got a lot to talk about. I guess we'll start with Ash Williams.
We will start with Ash Williams.
By Asmus. This is from the Evil Dead 2 Dead by Dawn. This is the luxury line, and this has every bell and whistle one could imagine. From the Book of the Dead, of course, he has that chainsaw right hand there. The boomstick slides there right in the back holster, but he does have the removable chainsaw, and you can actually do the bandaged hand in this.
And Guy, I'm going to need you to buy two. If you can find them, because I want that Necronomicon.
Oh, the Necronomicon on there is absolutely.
It's actually it's literally my air freshener. As I have a Necronomicon.
It's a Necronomicon
I love it so much.
There's a lot going on with this one here. The luxury line just is. Asmus has done some amazing things in their really high-end deluxe lines on this one here, from a working vise that we're going to have. Now, there's not every piece that he comes with is here.
Right.
You will see Linda, if you know the story, that is also going to be a part of it. But we see down there Henrietta.
Just hanging out. I mean, you kind of get, 1.5 pieces with this.
Exactly. It's great to have Ted Raimi was convinced by his brother Sam to put on this ridiculous suit. He said yes to his family before he had any clue this is what he's going to be doing.
One day, these two dudes will talk about you in a show in 6-scale form.
Exactly. Yeah, one day some kid is going to go nuts for this. And it is a functioning cellar door. Like that. You have the cabin for the back, a bit of that work shed look. So much going on. Two portraits. We have this one here, and we have his Deadite possessed head.
Nice.
As you can tell, this is one that growing up in Michigan, two things you knew. You knew The Crow, and you knew Evil Dead. And so I was really excited when this one. And
I also love, Guy, on the sculpt here, you can almost see like it's a mixture of that blood and sweat, and it looks like he's sweating.
It is, yeah. He does have that, and it transitions into the hair and onto the skin. This is, that one of the things that that Bruce Campbell had to endure a lot was Sam just covering him with gunk and gook and dirt, and that is in here. And so this was an instant pre-order. for me. As you said, try and get 2. I ordered 1 deluxe and 1 standard because I can't choose what pose, and so I'm just not going to choose.
Yeah, you know,
I'm going to make
hang out
sure.
in the Evil Dead multiverse.
Exactly. I love it.
Yeah, such a great piece, even from the base down. Yeah, I think I let Guy take this one away because I know he's a huge fan.
Yes, he asked if he's like, "Are you familiar with Evil Dead?" And boy, am I ever.
All right, so moving on next to the incredible Cyberpunk 2077 piece by Pure Arts. Pure Arts came in hot this year. Specifically, I love this piece so much.
I like that it's interactive.
I was going to say, I don't remember, again, I don't have a billion statues, but I don't remember that many statues that have like a working sort of TV behind them.
Yeah, someone would have to inform me if there is one that's done that because I haven't seen it. But you're also going to have your remote with everything. This is, not only does it have this, it's also going to have a music function.
Oh, it will have a music
You've
function.
got music functions and all kinds of things going on. I love the light. The upward light. I like the coffee, the last little remnants of coffee that have dripped down the side of the cup that are staining the Buck a Slice pizza box.
And even all of the, what is this?
All of the stickers that he has on the guitar. And
even there's labels
yep,
on the beer here.
The monkey that you're used to. So this is now yet another version of Keanu that I will have in the house. And yeah, I'm getting to the point where I think I just can't have enough Keanu.
And even all of the cybernetic stitching that he's got in here, you know, with the, what is it, I believe it's a transition code, I think it's called, on his arm. And then just the detail in this cybernetic arm is ridiculous.
Yeah, the metal on there, and hopefully the light is catching it really well, that you have that kind of matte metal, and when metal gets rubbed a bunch and then becomes a shinier, you're getting that in there as well. Going down into the texture of the pant, which is sculpted.
Yeah, impressively sculpted.
To sculpt and paint to get those type of textures on there. Obviously, you can see through the sunglasses and see the intense stare.
Yeah, and I believe we've got here as well. These are not sculpted. If Sam can get that, see those are moving on there, so you will be able to put those on.
Yeah, and little print on them. Just wonderful work. That it is so cool to be so interactive. That base all the way around, and you have additional controls not only on the remote but also on the base itself.
Yeah, such an incredible piece, even down to the little details of like the cigarette that he's got here, the hair sculpt, everything, and just like, again, a very lived-in statue.
Yeah.
But that's the world you get kind of dropped into when you're talking Cyberpunk.
I know a lot of fans are digging on getting this piece. In fact, it was fans of our show that I was able to learn, hey, you need to go out and buy this game. I think you would dig on it. And I thank you know who you are who said go get this one. So now I will get this piece for it.
Yeah, again, Pure Arts did an awesome job with this piece. Speaking of doing an awesome job, Missy, how you doing?
I'm doing very well, and we're going to keep with the video game theme right now. If you could just do a little turn and take a look at that Assassin's Creed piece.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Yes.
Another incredible piece by Pure Arts from Assassin's Creed Valhalla. We've got the wonderful sculpt here. Again, it does come with 2 portraits. We've got the female playable sculpt here from the game here, and then here on the base is the male playable sculpt.
And they have a very strong magnet that's going to hold them into place. One of the features on here that I think is so neat is it also does have a light up feature. You can kind of see that ice there illuminated as well. And I think what we're going to try and do is dim the lights a little bit so you can see just how that is.
Oh, wow.
Boom.
Okay.
Illuminating as it kind of emanates out of that Viking statue.
Yeah, it should, it's very reminiscent of what most Assassin's Creed games are, and that is the animus. Either in this scenario, you're either just being dropped into the game, or you are being pulled from the game. Sort of that animus, that digital rendering that is so synonymous now with Assassin's Creed. I mean, it's excellent. And, from the base aside, look at that sculpt.
Look at all the incredible textures. And again, like you said, sculpt.
Yes.
This is not fabric. Nope. This is not fabric. That's not hair that's draped on there. When we talk about the hair, not only do you have that from the fur of the animal that she's used to keep her shoulders warm there, but you're also getting it.
Oh, wow.
Look at those beautiful, intricate braids that you have there. The skin tone on there and the skin texture, that scowl the dark around the eyes. So much going on with it.
And I love the idea that, I mean, if you are a history buff, you know, or you played this game, you know that any type of Viking or anyone, type of Norse warrior takes every single instrument or weapon very seriously. They are all different.
Yes.
And it's no exception here, because every one of these weapons, like the axe that she is holding in her left hand, could have been the exact same as she's holding in her right hand, but they are not.
No.
They are very believably sharp. They look so incredibly detailed and different.
They each tell their own
and then
story.
there's even a bow that she's got slung across her there.
It's spectacular. I love having the option of the two swap out portraits. We have learned historically that in the world of Vikings, women were equally warrior.
Right, yeah.
In fact, in some battles, they were the largest part of the army. So this is a great game to play as a couple when you get to switch with the two controllers. I dig on that. You've got some of the runes done in here as well. Again, that emanating from it. So much going on here. So many great textures.
And if I may, I do love, again, as I've mentioned, I don't know how many times today, but the idea of like sculpted storytelling.
Yes.
Because every piece has to tell a story. So when we're talking about sculpted storytelling, and Sam, if we could get around here, we have got, of course, here in her left hand, the axe that she's holding, and look at the blood that's dripped down onto the base.
Yep.
So, I mean, such an awesome detail that Pure
Fresh
Arts
from battle.
absolutely did not need to add, but they totally added, and it works, and it's just such a cool detail that they included. I love it.
I look at the male portrait, and that is beard goal. That is hopefully by next year's Sideshow Con, we're more like that. I've got a little bit more of that.
You've all heard it, yeah.
Yeah,
this
that will
cosplay?
be the goal.
Oh, good.
That will be the goal, and
Good to know.
we'll have to wig the top part, but we're going to definitely go for the beard. Missy, what would they like to see?
2 words: Star Wars.
Star Wars. All right.
Those are 2 words I know.
Do you know anything about Star Wars?
I do, but it was a long time ago.
Oh. In this galaxy? Yeah. Hey, Missy, do they want to see something first, or just kind of cover the whole gamut here?
Very, very specifically.
Okay.
808 Michigan Jedi, since Michigan was just a topic of discussion,
All right.
is pleading to see the battle droid.
Okay, Michigander. Let's jump into Super Battle Droid. All right. Loving on this one here. Introduced, of course, in the prequels, and then we got even more story and more use of them throughout the Clone Wars animated show. This is a figure
in The Mandalorian.
Very briefly. Yeah, very briefly. Love the look of it. Love the design of this. Done in a style that has that very big bodybuilder. This guy hits the gym. I'm not sure if he does leg day
Right, yeah.
as much as
when you've got blasters, I think.
yeah, as much as upper body. But again, to have something articulated like this is for those, and it sounds like Michigander is definitely one of these army builders, where you hit quantity 2 or above. And this will definitely be one like that. All of the different paint applications that you're getting, that it does, even though they are, as I think you talked about this before, it looks like quickly riveted together and boom, boom, ready, and go, go.
Yeah, no, not the Republic, but the, they were just putting them all together.
Separatists.
The Separatists, thank you.
Yeah.
They're putting them all together really, really fast, and they, Hot Toys did an excellent job in making it look like that.
Exactly. Even though one solid type of piece of metal used in these, that you are getting those variants of color, little rubs on the edges, that dry brushing technique that is done, the articulated fists here, that they kind of reminded me of large mittens. Again, just
right, yeah,
you're not
like
getting
large
individual
mittens.
Fingers as much. It's it's a large mitten-like look, and then the shimmering metal quality of the blasters.
Yeah,
there.
it looks like the mittens or the hands are there to grab Jedi or Jamba Juice or whatever they need to grab. Not too much, but just enough.
Now,
yeah.
Missy, you said Battle Droid, and of course we also have this the Snap It Battle Droid. Did they want to see that one as well?
I mean, we're just going to go with yes.
We're going to say
it was
yes.
shouted Star Wars, and I do know that they do want to, and I say they because there were multiple people in here. The other day we didn't get to them, the Night Owls.
Okay. All right. Well, we've got our Snap It Battle Droid. Another great one. This was the the skinnier guy. He does not hit the gym as much. A lot of Roger.
Yeah. This is my go-to phrase.
Yeah, Roger.
Yeah.
We now know has become a catchphrase for a lot of us. Great use of metallic paints and the weathering, as of course this thing flies through the sky, hitting anything in its path there that we have. Fully articulated and posable on this one. I'm excited to see how these ones are done. Right next to that, we have our Death Watch Mandalorian. Anytime we can get Mandalorians, I think that's my new goal, is to have every version of any type of the Mandalorian. Then the exclusive Armorer behind there.
Of course.
That one there.
That was our Monday exclusive.
Exactly.
Pre-order.
That was one of my first pre-orders, to have the fur on there. And again,
we've got the Grogu set there. Incredible.
They're on the Seeing Stone. We do have, of course, those eggs.
The eggs, yes.
That play such an important role in us.
Look, the man himself.
The man himself.
The most drip at the con, I say. He's got the best armor with that black saber. I love it.
Yeah, now with that,
I love him with that black saber.
With that high polished version of the armor this time. So it's again a little different, and of course an unmasked portrait. I don't know. Are you allowed to display it with an unmasked? You're supposed to leave that helmet on.
That is true.
But
yes, that is the way.
now do have the option next to him. Another great one.
And of course, we've got to talk Night Owls here.
Night Owls. I got introduced to Night Owls actually because of you and Terry and others that told me you need to watch the Clone Wars. And these were guys I got into in the animated, and so when they appeared in Mandalorian, I was thankfully one of the lucky people that got to go, hey, I know this, and was really geeking out at Bo-Katan being the first that they released to us.
Right. So of course we've got Koska Reeves here, we've got Axe Woves, and Bo-Katan. Now I will say I do think that Koska Reeves has the coolest helmet ever. Yeah. It is my absolute favorite. I like all the sharp lines and details that she has. It's just my favorite version of this Mandalorian helmet.
If a helmet like that can have, for lack of a better phrase, feminine qualities, that kind of sleek and cut lines versus that traditional hardline tee that we're used to in there. Again, this is from a scene that we see them being very savior-esque, but we know that they have been around doing these kind of battles for quite some time.
Yeah.
So we get that weathering.
Yeah, I'm really hoping you guys, dug all of these pieces. Again, we've had them throughout the con for a couple of, for a while now. You guys can go to side.show/blog. We have a blog up. Oh, there you are, Sam. We have a blog up of everything that we'd had for Star Wars for day one. You can see our social channels if you want to see them a little bit closer. I promise you can. So, Missy, where are we going?
You can go over to the Scarlet Witch and then head on over to Dr. Doom.
You got it. We can do that.
The Scarlet Witch by Hot Toys.
Scarlet Witch.
Yes. Hot Toys, sorry.
From WandaVision.
From WandaVision, we have got the Scarlet Witch 6-scale. I believe it's from their TV movie, their TV masterpiece series.
They are TV masterpiece series there. Even though it is a single color on that cape, it is different textures.
Yeah, completely dual-toned. Again, the cut and sew team by Hot Toys did an excellent job because, I mean, there are so many various elements. And Guy, we were lucky enough to see this a little bit earlier in the week as well. But so many elements of fabric and layering in this piece that, we're sort of blink and you miss it in the show because we're all, at that moment, it's the big, huge reveal of her costume. And Hot Toys sat down and did the work and brought it to 6-scale form.
Exactly. The magic that is used in both of the hands, like you talked about with Doctor Strange, when she is conjuring, when she's doing things, there are very specific hand motions. And these are replicated here in that 6-scale form. And probably one of the best portraits I have seen on a figure. We have had her a couple of times before, each time getting better and better and better. And this looks like it's right out of the show. Right out of the show.
Yeah, an incredible piece. And again, another piece that we had shown a couple of times, side.show/con. You can see our blog, you can see everything that you'd need to. And again, all of these Hot Toys will be back tomorrow, so if you guys have any questions or you'd like to hear a little bit more about them, Amy will be back with Wendy, and they'll be going over our Hot Toys and all of the other various things that we have in our booth.
Doom.
Doom.
Doom. You have to hit a bass note.
Yes,
Terry
you sure
Smith
do.
would definitely be able to really take and say that phrase.
This is the Dr. Doom premium format that we have just got. We were lucky enough to have, the maquette. I apologize. I'm so intimidated.
Yes.
You know,
he's a
very
intimidating presence.
He is literally standing above us right now, or me at least.
He is a very large piece, and then of course you have the banner behind it, giving it even more height.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you can picture him on the, somewhere in Latveria, speaking to the Latverian people, just sort of, very nicely decreeing something. The people of Latveria actually love him. He's only seen as a villain, because he wants all of Latveria to be sort of, he wants to implement those ideas into the rest of the world. And it doesn't necessarily fly with the Avengers and Fantastic Four mostly. But again, fortunate enough to talk to Daniel Bell about sculpting this piece. And he was just talking about, the process of making him recognizable. And if you took the color away from this, you took the head sculpt, you took some of the mechanics, like you would know, you're like, hey, that pose kind of looks like Dr. Doom.
Yeah.
And they nailed it. And then once you bring all that together with this very deep, sort of regal green.
Yes, he does have, and when you say regal, it's a great word to use for this one here, because he does have that ruler-esque look and stature on this.
Well, he is, because he's a ruler.
Because he is a ruler.
He rules Latveria.
What I dig about this one here is, again, the use of mixed media. The hood that goes over that iconic mask, and then the front piece here, those are all sculpted.
Right.
But that same texture that's there is the cloth texture and the cloth of the posable cape.
Yes.
So they blend seamlessly together there. The cape with the wire down the sides as well as on the bottom, allowing you to pose that however you like. But they didn't stop there.
Nope.
They went and did that wire allowing you to pose even into the banners themselves. So you could really have a windswept look and really take up a lot of space with this character.
And I'm not by any means a statue expert, but I've been fortunate enough to see plenty of statues. Now, this is the first time I've seen a statue with this sort of, it's almost like not a removable piece, but it's sort of like a proximity piece that is away. It's a very interesting use of this base.
Yes.
That normally when you think of the word, when I think of base, I think it's this incredible Doom-esque podium that he's standing on. But for it to carry up literally above the statue,
it does key into the back there. So if you were limited on space, it's a piece you get to add on there.
Correct.
And use it. So. It can be used to create whatever story you want with it. If you wanted to display it in front, and perhaps it was the fall of Doom. The eyes behind the mask.
Yeah, they're very haunting, and this is a great. Sam's got a great angle here of it, because it definitely, you can imagine Doom just staring and looking above you as as he has in so many. Whether you if you're like me, I first really got a hold of him as Fantastic Four. I believe it was Fantastic Four 130 when Hickman started and took over, and then you really get Doom. And Hickman had a really, he's just an obsession with Dr. Doom because he is such a misunderstood character. And then he absolutely nailed it with this. And Daniel Bell yesterday talking about how, when sculpting this, he wanted him to have all of these metallic pieces that were built into anatomy.
Yeah, that kind of riveted medieval knight, but these are more in actual musculature patterns.
And it's like, it's this balance you have to strike that the team here did an excellent job with, in that Dr. Doom is a character that, yes, has this medieval knight, this almost, clandestine, older look. Again, he looks like it's a suit of armor, but he is this brilliant scientist, and there is so much science and magic going into this suit. And I think that I've always envisioned that, the cape is more like magic, very similar to like Doctor Strange.
Yes.
But I love it. And I always like that Dr. Doom constantly has this gun on him, because he doesn't need it.
He doesn't need it.
But in various, again, specifically in like the Hickman run, he carries it as a reminder that he is still just a man.
Yeah.
And I love that idea. I love that concept of him specifically in this iteration. Again, absolutely killer. Side.show/what's new if you want to take a look at this on our website right now.
Do we have time for one more, Missy?
We do. And actually, I want to go back to something we didn't get to at the beginning because you were on the other side of the floor. If your last piece could be the My Hero Academia piece, or Academia, sorry.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Yes.
Heading over here to the My Hero Academia. I believe this is by Prime 1. So you know it's going to be huge.
You are not going to get more colors in a statue.
Oh, and did you even see behind here, guys?
Oh, yeah.
The base?
Yeah, I got to help put this one together with the man who's currently behind the camera.
Oh, yeah.
We
Huge
got
round of applause for
we got
Cameraman
to
Sam.
put this together. There is so much going on with it, but we'll start with the portraits and that they nail them.
Yeah.
They nail them that they are that animated look. They are in a three-dimensional quality there. The way in which the shading, it's very different. You're not going for a human quality.
Right, yeah.
Or anything like that. This is to get that animated
Right
quality.
off the screen, right off the manga,
Boom,
wherever
exactly,
you
right
are
off of
watching or
there,
reading
and you're
this.
going to get that in all three of those portraits there. There is stuff hidden around like crazy, the energy blasting off of it and such. But yes, you did talk about the base and that it is going all the way around. So we are going to.
There's a ton here.
Oh,
now, guys,
so
this is
much.
a piece. I think me and you had a conversation, the other day when we were doing this. I think it was the Critical Role pieces that it's not something that me and you know a ton about. But imagine being a fan of My Hero Academia and looking at this and seeing all of the various Easter eggs. There's a briefcase here, it looks like, with the number 15.
With the number 15 on there, you've got the other briefcase over here. The things that are incorporated in here, all telling stories that those that have read or follow know very, very well. Wonderful tread on this guy. As you know, I'm loving the bottom tread of the shoes. The granite and stone look of this right here into it. The look of the flame, the look of the energy.
I mean, even like the inclusion here of his cowl, it looks like not currently pulled
not
over his
currently
head.
up
cowl
over.
or hood or whatever it is in that moment. I believe it's a cowl because I believe he has a full mask normally. But just the there's so many elements on this, literally so many elements. You've got ice and fire and stone and earth here.
Explosions.
And it's just such an incredible piece that, it almost makes me, I almost wish that I knew so much more about My Hero Academia so that I could catch on all of these various details.
It's one of those pieces, though, that when you see something like this and you don't know it, it's so impressive that you say, I want to learn more about that.
Yeah.
The discovery of a new fandom is something I'm really happy, and I get an opportunity to do that with Sideshow. Is there things like this that I wouldn't necessarily know about that isn't really in my wheelhouse of film and television and things like that, but I see something like this and I go, what is that? And I want to know more. And I think that every fan that's going to display this in their house is definitely going to have people come over and go, wow, let's discuss that.
Let's talk about that forever.
Yes.
Yeah, again, the My Hero Academia piece by the incredible Prime 1. Missy, think we've got time for one more piece. So tell us, what does everyone want to see? No pressure.
No pressure, right?
Right.
Die if you don't show them that Winter Soldier.
Okay.
Okay. So we do not want to risk anyone's health if you say that if we don't show Winter
Missy's
Soldier.
running the show here.
Yeah.
Hey, Missy, where are we going?
Autumn's my boss.
Oh, right. Okay.
We're going to the top of the chain here on where to
All
go.
right. So let's take a look at the Winter Soldier. We can take a look at this very briefly because, again, all of these Hot Toys will be in the booth tomorrow as well, and Amy and Wendy will be going over them in detail. All right, it's Buck.
It's Buck. And interesting that we've gone back to saying Winter Soldier because, of course, we've now got to see him come back as Bucky, and that there is that battle going on in him, and that's something that we learned about more in the show. And this is him from the show with that beautiful blue and black leather jacket. I've always liked that his jackets, of course, are single-armed and are unique and stylish. one of the most incredible portraits that we've seen of Sebastian Stan on here. We've gotten to see him a few times throughout his the different ways in which he's appeared, but I think this one here is just a whole level above.
And I do love, honestly, my favorite version of this is Bucky Barnes with the...
I did the wrong one. He wanted Falcon, my bad.
Oh, well, you know what? We'll do that in just a second.
That's okay, because we're gonna partner this up.
Boom. Boom. He'll be right there. But yeah, I thought Sam was like...
Yeah.
I do love Bucky's inclusion here of the gold nobility vibranium that they have, like this, this color of gold that we see is only by the regal folks in Wakanda. So, taking that request,
and
flying
swooping
up just a bit, this is Captain America from Falcon and Winter Soldier, Mr. Sam Wilson himself here in all of his winged and opposable glory.
Exactly. Ready to take up the shield mantle.
I am,
which was just such an important part of our story, and to see, do I feel worthy to hold that shield? And yes, he is worthy, and this is an incredible figure.
Such an incredible piece. Honestly, I can't wait for you guys to get your hands on it for Unsealed and Revealed. I can't wait to see the full posability of these wings.
And what's neat is just his evolving into Captain America, and that it really was a team effort, that he calls in that favor to Wakanda. These wings, those wings are going to be spectacular. Of course, having his drone up there on there.
And I love the inclusion of Red Wing on this dynamic stand itself that is removable. If you'd like to have it be more of like a proximity piece, you can do that. But it does key into the back, like we've seen on some Hot Toys pieces where this is posable. It's made out of the same thing as the base back here, and you can pose the Red Wing however you'd like.
What I like about Sam when he becomes Captain America is that he still retains a bit of what he was as Falcon. We've got those in the wings, and of course the goggles that he wears.
Yeah, and again, the Sam Wilson Captain America 6 scale, Bucky Barnes, and of course, we've got Zemo here. They're all going to be back tomorrow.
They're dancing their way
back into the booth.
Back into the booth tomorrow.
Yeah, very, very excited. Thank you guys for joining us. It's always a pleasure when me and Guy can do this.
This is great fun.
Again, we get to see some of this individually or from the table. So always a pleasure to be able to just hang out with you guys all, take your requests, and see what you all want to see.
What you want to see.
Because what our favorites may not be what your favorites are, so it's nice to, we can all have the same favorites.
It's neat to, something that I may have not stayed 3 or 4 minutes at, that somebody says, go take a look at it, and then I get a whole new fandom out of it. So thank you for all of you watching that are helping me get new fandoms.
Right. And a huge round of applause to Mr. Guy Klender. That's a series wrap on Guy Klender.
Series wrap. I've been told I'm not allowed to play with the toys anymore. I am, however, allowed to go home and click my pre-order button, which I have been doing, oddly enough, for 6 full days now.
And we've got a lot of folks watching who I know are very grateful. I'm incredibly grateful to be able to do this with you. So when I say this from the bottom of my heart, Guy, I mean it.
Well, thank you.
We need your key card.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, but obviously, Guy's not going anywhere. Guy, we've got an episode of Unsealed and Revealed next week at some point. You guys are not going to want to miss that figure. Guy's just driving like 20 minutes home. But he has helped so much with, it's not 20 minutes, it's a little longer,
Doesn't matter, I'd go cross country for this.
But
it's fantastic.
He did an incredible job helping set up some of this, helping put a bunch of these figures together, and just figuring out with the rest of the team how to do that. So Guy, thank you so much, and thank you for doing this with me.
Thank you for letting me be part of it. Thank you, fans, for telling us where to go on this. I look forward to seeing you all again soon.
Yes, and again, we've got a brand new episode of Get Super with our good buddy Josh G coming up in just a minute. And then at 3:30, we've got a very special episode of Unsold Out, specifically art prints that we're going to do from our fun Hot Toys conference room. Wherever you're watching now, you can watch it. And we'll be doing that. And then at 5, we of course have an episode of That Sideshow Show. And of course, we can't get out of here with Missy.
Without our guide, Missy, our tour guide today.
Thank you so much.
You're so
Thank you so
welcome.
much for doing all of them. I believe this is the last one that we all have together. But Missy, thank you so much for doing this all week and being the mouthpiece for the fans who are, I'm sure, were typing like crazy.
Yes.
They definitely were.
How many of them were typing Iron Man, Iron Man, Iron Man? Or was that Missy?
It was just Missy.
It was just Missy
right.
typing
yeah,
Iron Man?
It was just Missy. So, Missy, thank you so much. But Missy's not going anywhere. Missy's going to be on a couple shows before the end of Con tomorrow. But thank you guys all so much. We'll see you at 3:30, wherever you're watching now. Hey, and wherever you are watching now, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, because every time you do, Guy gets to put together another figure.
They let me play with more toys.
Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful rest of day 6.
Yes.
We'll see you very soon. And as always, don't forget to let your
geek
geek
side
side
show.
Saying it together, huh?